is order filing, approving, and adopting the 21 tax rolls from the county rolls.
So moved. Second.
All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? Okay.
All right, number 3, this is the order we do, approving the appropriations detailed in the proposed budget. If you do have a spouse that's on any of those committees, commissions, you would have to recuse at this time.
I am a member of the board of directors and attorney for the Grammy Music Foundation, so I need.
Here's the Grammy on here.
Okay.
Okay, so we have 1 recusal.
Yeah, but you're an ex officio member. You're not a voting member.
Not a voting member, I am an attorney.
I'm an ex officio too. I'm not a voting member, so I don't see where there's.
Start off.
I mean, I need a clarification. I always recuse myself on Delta Arts
Yes.
because Hilda was president.
That's different. Yeah.
I understand. Gary.
Example we ran into, and we looked at it again yesterday just to be sure. With Brian being on the fire department, he withdrew from being an officer,
I
and
know
you can
he's
be
not
a
an
fireman.
officer.
It's the same thing. If you're not a voting member, you're okay. I mean, you're not an officer.
I'm not a voting member, but
I'm not a voting member.
I went at MML. Tom Hood was very clear about conflicts, and
Yeah, I know.
you were there. You heard him, and he's very clear about conflicts. So I don't want to violate.
Why don't you just step out then?
No,
No, it's- well,
No, I
the
get.
council
You're
says
good.
that. I'm okay. with it. Are you okay with it?
Yes, sir. Throw it on me.
Okay. Have a motion.
So move. Second.
Ted, Brian, all in favor, say aye. Opposed?
All right, number 4, order to 22 proposed budget.
So move. Second.
Gary, Danny, all in favor, say aye. Any opposed?
All right, so we do have a quote. This is for the mini excavator for the wastewater department. We brought it up, I think, last meeting, but this is on state contract. And so we're requesting to move forward with ordering that instead of buying the one from Infomart.
I'll make that motion.
Kurt made the motion.
Second.
Ted, second, all in favor, say aye. Any opposed? Okay.
All right, and then number 6, at the request of Alderman Paval, this is the reconsideration of the board meeting time for the first meeting of the month that was set for 6 p.m. at the last meeting.
All right.
Mr. Mayor, I was sick last Tuesday. I didn't get back from the clinic until almost 8:30. Still have a problem, but I'm dealing with it. But this came up back in July, the first meeting when Danny said he wanted to move to 5:30, I think. And it,
Whatever.
whatever it was,
I brought it up. I don't
I
think.
remember hearing 10 and 5:30.
yeah, it all came down to what was inconvenient or harmful to board members. And I defer to that. I recognize that. I don't want anybody to suffer any financial harm or anything like that. And I think after 12 years, we ought to keep our meeting at 6:30. So it doesn't, my family or in my ward doesn't suffer any harm. And I defer to Xenia, who was here. I wasn't here because I was sick. And so I'll defer to her.
Okay.
And I also asked Mayor, and I think I sent you in an email because I didn't get an opportunity to share my concerns. I travel over an hour and a half. So a lot of times I get off work late. Like today, I'm gonna have to make up some time because of here or lose some time. And so traveling that distance, and by the time I get here and try to get myself together, I'm running and pretty much out of breath. So I'm asking if we can keep the time as is.
It was my understanding, Mayor, that it was not an inconvenience on individuals. And Honorable Alderman Paval, I could certainly look at changing it to 10:30 on certain days. And that's all that we talked about, was possibly doing the right thing for our staff. Because our staff in the last meeting we had, I know Dominique's children were pulling on her. It was 8:15 saying, let's eat, we need something to drink. That was my point. Let's be respectful of our staff. And a 6:30 meeting is pushing us too late, I believe. So maybe we can look at something else if we need to. But the 6th, we voted and that's where I stood at that time.
I served in the military, Dan, for 28 years. I work with enlisted people and NCOs. I have the highest respect for the people who work for this city. And I think we all do. And we gave them all the support we can. One time a month, 30 minutes. But it comes down to the elected officials and our wards that we serve. Are they entitled to be represented at the meeting? I just think that, I think that if somebody that works for the city cannot attend the 6:30 meeting, let them attend the second meeting at 8:30. If we have a lady that has, and all reference to our fine clerk, many of our people are at home when they're on the Zoom. So I just think, let's be fair to everybody that work on this board. And let's move on and let's tackle the big issues of the city.
Mr. Mayor.
Yeah.
Couple of points. I agree with Danny about the issue with the employees. I consider y'all my colleagues, but many of the employees are I consider my peers because they're closer to my age. No disrespect. To your point, when we're serving on this board, that's exactly what we're doing. Is we're serving the public, including the employees. It's a sacrifice for me to be here. I'm taking time away from my family to serve the city. That's exactly what we're doing. And what our intent is on the board is to sacrifice your time and to donate your time and talents to the city. I disagree respectfully. I don't feel like we're doing a service to, these employees that work very hard for the city. You're asking them for 30 minutes. Well, you're taking 30 minutes away from their time because it's inconvenient to you. I think that's selfish on our part to ask for that when we're asking these employees. Of course, they're being compensated for their time, but you're also asking them to take time away from their family. And I don't think that's right as a current parent. I've still got children at home that are young, school-age children, like many of the other department heads. I think we need to meet earlier, honestly. And it's a sacrifice.
Would be good.
I don't have a problem with that. As everybody's going to have to make sacrifices. I had to leave, the bank this morning, missing a meeting right now to be here because I'm willing to make that sacrifice to serve the city.
We met at 6 o'clock for years. I mean, when you got on the board card, you actually made the motion to change the time because it was more convenient for you. This has always been a majority rule board. And it's not just the majority of the board, but it's also the majority of the people that work for the city. I think the change was appropriate.
It's pretty overwhelming, the people that are interested in it. Well, y'all situation, you couldn't adjust to your board? Or
I will be here.
Do all the time?
I'll be here at 6:30. Probably.
We'll probably be having visitors. You wouldn't be late.
I will.
Your board there wouldn't change.
Mayor, I have to resign this job. Now, we met for 12 years. Every year we took the office, we started, Gary, you never objected.
Say that again. I'm sorry, I couldn't hear.
Okay, I've served 3 terms. Every time we started a term, you did too. No one ever objected to 6:30 in 13 and in 17. It came up this time when Danny, and I wrote it down, Danny, you said you got bored 5:30 to 6:30, that you didn't have anything to do. That was your reason for asking for the change in July. You can look at it on Zoom. So that's where we are. I mean, obviously, if majority of the board wants to do that, that's up to them.
Okay. Now, can I have my question?
Yes, sir.
Can you have your meeting? What's 30 minutes in Ball compared to 30 minutes in Cleveland?
They can't change it.
They can't.
Mm-mm. They have people that don't get off at Baxter until 5 o'clock.
Okay. They've changed their times out there then. Oh,
As I mentioned, Mr. Alderman, the 10:30, you mentioned that day, and I assume we were talking about Tuesday. Tuesday's a bad day at 10:30 for me. Other days, a Monday is a good day for me at 10:30. Now, I don't know what the rest, but again, I think to Gary's point and to my point, we have people on the board, the staff with younger children. And we didn't in the past as much. And I think that's what has brought all of this on to try to help them. Now, as far as me being bored, I get off at 5:30 and I just come over here and sit outside waiting on the doors to open. And I realized that we had been meeting at 6 prior to it. And so that's the reason that I brought the motion up to go back to 6.
May I ask a question? The state law mandate first Tuesday of the month.
I believe so.
You can set it by
Is there any leverage? Do we have any,
You can
set the
be
date by
by
ordinance.
ordinance anytime.
you can what?
You can change the day from Tuesday if you want to.
It doesn't have to be a Tuesday. I thought state law.
Make it a Monday then?
You can change the day by ordinance.
We can make it a Monday.
Would that
Would
be
you
fine?
say?
I mean, I wouldn't have a problem making it 5:30 on the month, first Monday of the month.
Get here, Xenia, taking annual leave.
Are you taking annual leave right now, Jay?
Well, I have to do, I'm trying to do what, to represent my constituents, so
Yes,
I'm.
well,
going
you
to do
should.
What I need to do, so if I have to just make up some time, try to make up some time or lose some money,
Well, go in early. I mean, what we're talking about, 12 months out of the year?
well, if we can change it to a Monday,
Monday.
If we change it to a Monday at 5:30, I ain't got a problem with that at all.
if we can change it to a Monday, then I'll try to talk with my supervisor.
Go in
to
early
see
on Monday's a hard day anyway.
If
Awesome.
there's something I could do, or if I can just,
Are you okay
if
with
I can
Monday?
stay later.
Mississippi code says first Tuesday.
Yeah,
That's the
but,
reason why I asked the question.
yeah, but you can change it by ordinance.
But if we can change it by ordinance, then I don't have a problem at all with it being a month.
That gives my staff enough time to get everything to us like you normally get it on the Friday or Saturday. If we change it to the Monday, will that be?
If you're gonna change it, change it. If you're gonna change it again, change it one more time. And you don't have to do that this morning. Figure out what works for
What's good
everybody.
for Ted? He hadn't spoken.
He does the buses in the mornings. That's probably not gonna miss right now.
I've been on the board over 20 years, and the previous time, it was 6 o'clock.
Yeah, I know that.
That's the time, and
Does 5:30 work? too?
5:30 would work fine.
5:30 Monday?
Monday, on the Monday.
Yeah. What do you think about a Monday, Dominique? You gonna have to change it by
Work fine with
ordinance.
me.
I think it would be okay. I mean,
Would Wednesday be better?
I mean, Robert, you asked me.
No, what I was about to say was tell all my colleagues, I've said this before. I said, anytime is appropriate to me. I don't have a problem with it. There's one thing about it is that I'm free. But my question was, is that Dominique said, she said she would be okay with it. If the employee's okay and you're okay and everybody's around this table.
That keeps them working rather than having something during the
Yeah,
day.
benefit this city.
People would be
what-
sitting here at 10
Would
o'clock.
you like, would you like a motion?
That would be fine with me.
But before we pick a time,
I want to read the statute.
and I'm thinking again about the staff. Are Wednesdays inappropriate because of church service?
What's wrong with Monday? We just.
I'm just asking the question.
I have some choir rehearsal, not every.
Okay,
We have.
I'm just asking the question. I don't care.
When I was growing up, we never could have everything on Wednesday because everybody had to go to prayer meeting. But I didn't.
So we can do Mondays.
I'd like to make a
Good
motion.
with Monday?
Heck, yes.
That we're
I'd
good.
like to make a motion. We move our monthly meeting to Mondays at 6 p.m.
The first
5:30 p.m. Right.
Monday.
First Monday of every month. We said 5:30. I'm sorry.
Okay, 5.
In that.
Motion on.
Second.
Gary, second, all in favor, say aye. Any opposed? Okay. The mountain just turned into a molehill.
That's right.
Okay,
You want to go in executive session now?
yeah. I'll do-
We've got HR.
We got HR first. He
That's
said,
executive session.
no, the HR is not executive session.
Unless you guys have any questions, I just have one approval. And all the documentation is uploaded. If you guys have any questions, we can move into executive session.
Any questions?
I have no question.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Gary, Danny, all in favor, say aye. Okay, we'll now go into executive session.
I want to add something to this executive session before motion is made. We need to talk about, Finance Committee was asked to review wages for Public Works, and we have done that. So I want to add that to that executive session.
Okay, I would also like to add some activities that have been going on that we'll probably need to be working with the police department with.
I had it on my list too.
Okay.
Public
And the
disorder,
Roberts.
same.
I make a motion, we consider an executive session for the 3 reasons on the agenda, plus the one the mayor just added.
Second.
And Gary, added.
Here.
Thank you.
Gary, I'm sorry, did you have more?
Kurt made the motion. Any second, all in favor, say aye.
I move we in an executive session for those 5 same reasons.
Kurt, Ryan, all in favor, say aye. You ladies have a nice day.
I have to recuse myself on A. Can we take the others first?
Oh, ladies here.
Kurt.
Beautification.
I don't think. that-
Dominic, you still